BCW fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. World War 360 was a very good show from the Elks Lodge on Queens Boulevard. Just as ring announcer Larry Legend was welcoming everyone to the crowd, out comes Manny Martinez and he issues an open challenge, and it's answered by the juicy hot dog himself, Hot Dog Starks. And the match is underway, and Manny Martinez defeats Hot Dog Starks, the juicy hot dog, to get the win. I guess that was like a pre-show match of sorts, it seems. But on to the rest of the card. We kick off with first round heavyweight title tournament action as wrestling's richest prize, Darius Carter, defeats Rex Lawless. After the match ends, Carter takes the microphone and belittles BCW, the voice of BCW, Pete Rosado, and saying, why is it I'm stuck doing opening matches? I should be main eventing. And I forgot what else he went on to say. Up next, we saw the Caveman defeat Alvarado, who made his BCW debut, and Caveman is still undefeated in BCW action. I forgot to mention, before the action began, there was a 10-bell salute for the departed JL Chico. Let's see, as I mentioned, Caveman defeated Alvarado to remain undefeated. Then Absolute Alvin defeated Pinky Sanchez to garner a contract in BCW, so now Alvin will be seen on a regular basis. Next up was a first round match in the heavyweight title tournament, as we saw the Walking Riot Rays representing the GOAT with AJ Orsini in his corner to go one-on-one with the Bayonne badass Danny Moth. These two monsters really went at it with each other, but eventually Moth hits Rays with a burning hammer. But then, just as the referee goes to make a 3 count, the Pan Core Agency, AJ Pan, Mr. Tibbs, and Mark House, they pull the referee out of the ring. House and Tibbs eventually attack Moth. Out comes Superstar Whiplash. And eventually Larry Legend makes the announcement that Rays was disqualified due to outside interference, enabling Danny Moth to continue in the tournament. Moth then takes the microphone and praised Rays for being the future and saying that, he'd like to have a street fight with him. Maybe that'll happen at a later date. Then it was time for the War Game style match as the Brii Cartel took on Team BCW. Here was the order of entry: General Romero, Dasha Hatfield, Frankie Flo, Grim Reaper, Manny Ortiz, Man of Steel Mike Verna, Bronco Internacional, and the Big O. Eventually, Team BCW prevailed when O put the big squeeze on Romero with a bear hug until he submitted, and afterwards they handcuffed Romero to the ropes and because of the pre-match stipulation, the Brii Cartel will no longer be seen in BCW, or it's pretty much disbanded. At that point, they did go to intermission, and eventually Romero was unhandcuffed. We resumed the action with another first round heavyweight title tournament match as Chainsaw Joe Gacy defeats the Pan Corporation Agency's Colossal Mike Law. During this matchup, Rays and Whiplash of the GOAT come out and they go after Mr. Tibbs and Mark House, and AJ Orsini went after AJ Pan. So obviously this situation between the GOAT and PCA is going to continue. Next up, in singles competition, Mr. Grimm defeated the lit future Sebastian Cage. This was supposed to be a match with the three-way match with Kid Christian. I don't know why he did not wrestle. Then another first round match in the heavyweight title tournament as we saw the Lone Star Kurt Stallion defeat Eric Jaden, who surprisingly to me, I really thought he was actually going to win this match. But Kurt Stallion prevailed and he moves on in the tournament tournament. Up next, we finally see our women's match of the night as Candy Cartwright with Brittany Savage in her corner take on Faye Jackson. Faye Jackson was victorious over Candy Cartwright. After the match, Cartwright and Savage attack Faye from behind. Nikki Adams, who was defeated by Faye last month at Anniversary, she chases him out of the ring, but then Adams attacks Jackson from behind, and Adams, Savage, and Cartwright do triple team Faye. And I don't know, do we have ourselves a female faction or group in BCW right now? I wonder what, if they do, I wonder what they're going to be known as. Then, our main event of the evening, we saw the elite athlete, the Green Machine, Mike Orlando, go one-on-one with the Golden Standard, Shelton Benjamin. Very good matchup, and unfortunately, they had a time limit draw. After the match, Darius Carter comes out, and I forgot what he tried to say something, I think, to Benjamin, but he wound up eating a super kick and a sky high from both Benjamin and Orlando. But definitely a great time and a great show at BCW. Okay, it's time for the personal notes. It was great seeing Mike McNicholas, Stella, Susie, Jacqueline, Shane Fair, Elliot. Who else I remember here at this event? Jeff. Well, definitely a huge thank you. Ooh. A huge thank you to Tiffany for taking that picture of Irving Diaz and I with our megaphones. Irving, maybe next show we'll do have our megaphones and we'll have like a face-to-face photo. Irving, you really bring life to the crowd, and it's like you kind of take the attention off of me with that huge megaphone of yours. Let me see who else I can remember. Who else did I see at this event? Well, Larry Legend, great seeing you there. I wonder what was wrong with the darn microphones here. I mean, it kept cooping out, and they had to keep switching microphones. I wonder what happened there. There was one guy in the crowd with a crown on his head. Here's our memorable quote of the night. Larry, you've lost your mind! One of the Boulevard bullies, I forgot what Larry was talking about, but that's what one of the bullies ended up saying. And speaking of the bullies, one of them was wearing the old Shawn Michaels hat, which I still have my own, believe it or not, and I just haven't worn it in forever. Alright, folks, Brii Combination Wrestling returns with A Champion Will Rise on Friday night, May the 26th, from the Elks Lodge on Queens Boulevard. And making his BCW debut that night will be Lucha Underground star Willie Mack, or is he known as The Mack in Lucha Underground? I don't watch that show, folks, unfortunately. But I can tell you this, on Friday, May 26th, the first round heavyweight title tournament will continue. On that night, we will see the Green Machine, the elite athlete Mike Orlando, go one-on-one with the bearded villain Johnny Malloy. Mega Muscle will collide with each other as the Man of Steel goes one-on-one with the Big O. And also, other first round action, we saw the man who says he's better than you, Maxwell Jacob Feinstein, go one-on-one with a man who is a seasoned veteran on the independent scene, and that's the good guy, Azriel. And also in first round action, we will see Damian Gibbs go one-on-one with the Concrete Rose, Sonny Kiss. Also appearing that night will be Darius Carter, Faye Jackson, Eric Jaden, and Ricky Reyes. Now, speaking of Ricky Reyes, I thought he and Ultimo Maya were going to be on General Romero's team, but I guess they didn't show or couldn't make the event. I think other matches I'd like to see. I'd like to see maybe finally see the GOAT have a match with the PCA. I'm sure, I don't know, maybe I don't know if we could have maybe a 6-woman tag with Nikki Adams, Brittany Savage, and Candy Cartwright against Faye Jackson and 2 other ladies. But yeah, definitely a great night of action and night of BCW action. And what else can I remember happening here? Darn. Well, crowd was not as big as Anniversary last month. Too bad I didn't get to the building sooner. I could have probably sat where the rest of the crew was. Definitely. Actually, let me put this one out there, folks. I don't know if any of the fans would be interested in possibly doing one of these recaps with me after a BCW show ends. I know it would probably be very tough because, when the shows are over, everybody's tired. Everybody wants to leave, go home, or go eat somewhere, or go drinking. It'd be great to have one of the fans do a recap with me after a BCW event ends. So maybe it could happen Friday, May 26th, after A Champion Will Rise comes to an end. Forgot to mention, it was great seeing Thomas Zambito, Kevin Michael Murphy, and Pete Whalen there as well. But yeah, this was a great event, and can't wait for May 26th.